Take it away, Harry. What do you got?
I'm Harry Mays, and we finally found an offensive lineman who can't handle the curriculum at Stoutland University.
Wow. I'm Jason Martinez. Just make the preseason end already.
I missed game number 4. I'm going to tell you about two rookies. I'm going to tell you about two rookies on this show that might be carrying the rookie baton handed to them by Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. All that and more in this edition of Locked On Eagles Squad Show.
Why Eagles Fly? It's the Eagles Squad, sponsored by Gametime. Everything Philadelphia Eagles every week, covering all the big hits and game-changing plays from the city of brotherly love, the way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. Get ready and squad up. It's the Eagles Squad Show starting now.
And welcome in once again to Locked On Eagles Squad Show. Harry Mays, Jason Martinez, Marc Farzetta with you. A lot to get into today. We are going to talk about those linebackers. We are going to talk about that safety. We are going to talk about making the preseason end. Before you know it, Jason, it's going to be 2 games anyway. So we'll deal with the third.
And I'll say the same thing before the second game.
Exactly.
Make it end.
Just have it be college. Have a blue and white day and everyone goes home. And then the offensive line, who's failing the curriculum? I think I have an idea of what you're getting at, Harry. We'll get to that a little bit later. But, gentlemen, this dawned on me, and I've heard this talked about in conversation and whatnot when it comes to the Eagles. But, we've talked a lot about throwing question marks out there about what the Eagles have going on the offensive side of things. Not many question marks. Seems to be good as gold. Defensive side of things, some question marks still floating around out there. But it hasn't really allowed me to focus on the idea that 2 rookies could step up and be big impact players, stars even, for the second straight year. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, especially after the bye week, those 2 were huge impact stars. NFL top 100, NFL top 60 type players. That was the impact you saw from rookies, gentlemen, from the same draft class. Could we be looking, Jason, at the exact same thing when talking about Drew Mukuba at safety and also Jihaad Campbell as an inside linebacker next to Zach Bond? Could it be possibly Vic Fangio gets his hands on 2 young players that immediately let their presence and impact felt on game day?
Yeah, the rookie redemption part due. We'll see. I mean, last year, it's an oddity in the NFL to do that, right? Coming right from the college, no matter where you played in college, whether you played in the SEC or whatever, jumping to the NFL is a big jump. You're playing against the biggest, strongest, fastest, best athletes in the world. And to make that jump and have that kind of impact as a rookie is pretty crazy when you think about it. Now, some athletes, when they get to higher levels, they actually perform better because the guys around them are faster, bigger, stronger, and smarter. And sometimes the IQ helps those guys. Is that the case for Jihaad Campbell and Drew Mukuba? We'll see. If they can duplicate what they did last year with, Quinyon, and Cooper DeJean, then that's incredible. And that tells you that they place a high priority on meeting with the player and those conversations and the mind of the athlete. You can see the athlete on tape, but the mind of the athlete is what could adjust the NFL that quickly. I'd be thrilled if it was the case. Is it likely to happen 2 years in a row? I don't know. We'll see.
I thought you were going to do a Mike Kern there. Is it likely?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I slip into that from time to time, as you know.
Yeah, I know. This wouldn't surprise me. I mean, both of these guys are out of the SEC. Now, the one guy, Drew Mukuba's got to stay healthy. He's now banged up for the second time in this short training camp, and is missing some more time here. If he's not a guy that is just sort of naggingly injury prone, I think it absolutely can happen, just like last season with both of these guys. To me, Jihaad Campbell, I mean, that guy's, we all knew he was super impressive, and it's kind of a blessing, an injury blessing that the Eagles, he was there for the Eagles to take when they were selecting in the first round, because he was obviously a top 15 type of player. Yeah. So I have no doubts about him. With Mukuba, if he can stay healthy, he appears to be one of these guys that just has a nose for the football and will make some big plays and turn you over. So yeah, it can happen.
Here's what I love about it. We all know the physical intangibles and all that stuff that you see in the combine, what they did in college and all that. But once they get to the pro level, and Jason, you touched on it there with the IQ, one of the things I've absolutely loved is even Jalen Hurts giving compliments to guys like Quinyon Mitchell and Jihaad Campbell as far as what they're bringing to the table already. And then you hear Zach Bond talk about Jihaad Campbell. It's not just about, again, the physical attributes. It's about what he's doing when they're in the meeting rooms, what he's doing when they're in the film sessions, what he's doing when they're in the weight room. It's like they're talking about a guy that hasn't just been thrown into the NFL as a rookie. It's like they're talking about a guy who already knows what it takes to have success at this level. Now, whether or not it proves true when they actually start playing games that matter, yes, that obviously remains to be seen. But as far as everything being set up to the point of he's ready for this, he's absolutely ready for this. And I thought about two things here, and this is what you're talking about when you talk about even the opposite cornerback position, opposite to Quinyon Mitchell, who's going to be that CB2, so to speak, other than Cooper DeJean in base coverage. These guys are operating, whether it's Jihaad Campbell, whether it's Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, whoever it might be on the Eagles edge rushers. These guys are operating with a huge advantage. For the defensive lineman, it's Jalen Carter, obviously, in the middle of the line of scrimmage. But then if you're Jihaad Campbell and you're trying to be an inside backer here at the NFL level, you got Zach Bond right there with you as well. So if you need someone to direct traffic, maybe read a play at the NFL level a little bit faster and help you along with it, this is only going to expedite the learning process and improvement and maturation process, Jason, of a guy like Jihaad Campbell. You talk about IQ. This guy is set up for a whole lot of success right now, both with his own mental approach and how everyone else is helping him get ready.
Yeah, and you got to think that Zach Bond is a very cerebral player and just took to Vic Fangio's system really quickly, which is why he surprised the entire NFL last year in being able to do what he did. He had this physical skill set that was never maybe deployed properly, and he just clicked with the system, and that's a mental part. That's, reading the game, and that's great for Jihaad Campbell to have that resource too, and to trust his reads. I wonder, is a lot of this, complimentary behavior that's happening down there, it's like a vending machine of compliments. Is it propaganda or is it real? We'll find out when the season starts. Players love to pump up their teammates, guys that they know are going to line up next to them. I mean, I want to go down there just to hang around these guys so they can loft some propaganda my way and a little credibility, for goodness sake.
No, they won't let us in.
Yeah, good point.
They won't let us in.
Right.
Yeah,
I've already been told that. So
yeah, you've already been denied, Harry.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, you look at these two guys, and it's really clear that the culture at the Eagles is incredible. You hear these guys talk about when they get here, they're like, and this place is just different. The culture with guys like Lane Johnson, Brandon Graham as a predecessor, helping to build the foundation of that culture with Kelsey through the years, going back to Dawkins and just the culture of accountability here. And, guys come into it and they experience it. And I think it just gives them a ton of confidence to take away an element of being a pro athlete that a lot of guys deal with in other places that don't have that support system. And that's insecurity. They come in here, they feel like they can do anything and they can just rely on their instincts and their physical gifts. That's what they're going to do. So is it real? We'll find out if the propaganda is real when the season starts, when the bullets are firing. But it certainly sounds it.
Yeah. I'll try to take over here, Jason. You have great hair. You could still play goalie at an elite level. You know your sports. You're great. Yeah, I'll do the Eagles bidding for you.
We have that Stan Van Gundy line. That's not true.
Yeah. Well,
on all accounts.
And also add into that how young that side of the ball is. Like, Mark, you're rattling off the last two drafts with 4 players that were taken in the first round or first 2 rounds are super young. Jalen Carter is only in a couple years into his career, and we were told that he hasn't even figured it all out yet, not too long ago. I mean, think about that. Guys like Hunt on that defensive front, who looks to make a big leap, I believe, this season, is also really young. I mean, they are super young. I forget what the stat was that I gave a couple of weeks ago on the show about how many players they had at 25 or under on that side of the ball. It's just staggering to think about.
In the NFL, right?
I think so. I think it's easily most, but I forget what the number is. But I mean, add that element into it, man. And you're like sitting back, in the easy chair thinking, man, we got a defense here for the next 5 years. No problem. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's the way it is when you look at this defense, because they're young and they have enough veterans that obviously are help guide them along. And even though Darius Slay isn't here anymore, Quinyon Mitchell has sung his praises just about the impact he's had on his career, and even Darius Slay going as far as to put out stuff on social media about passing the baton to Quinyon Mitchell when they were picking up their Super Bowl rings. So yeah, I just feel like this defense has a great impact. And you talk about a veteran leader. I mean, look no further. I know he's the coordinator, but look no further than Vic Fangio. We've talked a lot about the offensive line and the trust that we have in a guy like Jeff Stoutland. Well, Vic Fangio has earned that in 1 year of being here in Philadelphia, and obviously a very long career that dates back to being a coach with the Philadelphia Stars a million years ago. So
under Jim Mora,
with Jim Mora, exactly. So not too bad when you talk about leadership and how this defense is coming along. Now, when you do talk about Drew Mukuba, we're talking about two different injuries now with him, Harry, that you mentioned a second ago. Watching him in preseason game number 2. Everything you had heard from Vic Fangio everything you'd heard from Nick Sirianni about him being all around the football, he was absolutely that. And the other thing that I really love, and this is something that you can see in preseason a little bit, is just the overall instincts. The overall instincts, because whether or not they're not game planning, everybody knows that, but this is still the elite competition. This is the elite of the elite. Everybody out there would be a college all-star, more or less.
Right.
And you're going out there. Yeah, right. Except DTR. Good God. But he's going out there, Drew Mukuba, and he's absolutely already showing you the athleticism. He's showing you the instincts, and he's showing you the ability to make that play. So when you're talking about the safety position and you talk about Sidney Brown, there's been some up and down with Sidney Brown, but now it's more likely than not Drew Mukuba is going to be your starting safety when they actually get underway against the Cowboys on that Thursday Night Football game to open the season. He has made me feel a lot better about that safety position. I'm still not ruling out Justin Simmons. Not doing it yet. The injuries continue. It'll happen. But, Harry, I feel a lot better than I thought I would about Drew Mukuba's ability at the NFL level.
Well, yeah, and also the willingness to stick your nose in there at the line of scrimmage. When he picked up that fumble, I mean, he was right there, in the mix, reading the play. And, some of those safeties, a little slight of build, and might be one of those guys that just sort of considers himself a coverage guy and going for interceptions. He was willing to stick his nose in there in a preseason game. I was pretty impressed by that, because I never watched him that closely at Texas. I knew he was a guy that made a big pick in the Georgia game, last season, but I didn't watch him close enough to see if he was, if they were using him to really come up and really stick the run. But apparently, he's willing to do that. So that's another good thing. He's just got to stay healthy. I mean, maybe it'd be nice if he could add maybe 15, 20 pounds onto that frame a little, over the next year or so.
Yeah. The one thing I worry about is with a small-ish player like that is shoulders, and that's what he dealt with, right? And shoulders can be one of those things that's chronic, especially if he's going to be asked to get up there and stuff at times and do that. But guys like that, you just find it, no matter where they play at what level, it's just it happens all the time. They're always around it, and it makes you think, like, why is this guy just always in the right spot and to capitalize on a ball that goes on the ground, or put himself in a position to get an interception and make a big play? Why does it just keep happening repeatedly? Because that guy can read the play at a different level. That's what makes him – his physical gifts are there, but the thing that makes him special is that ability to read plays and anticipate what's going to happen. It's like guys who play chess, not checkers, like a 2,000 ELO chess player, like a grandmaster. They know what you're going to do 5 moves before you even think about doing it. They're playing from ahead mentally instead of playing catch-up mentally. You see those guys that play catch-up, they get burned, they get double moved, those kind of things. The guys who can think ahead and really kind of know what you're going to do before you do it, huge advantage. And he just looks like it just makes plays everywhere he's at.
Which of the 4 guys that you were talking about initially, Mark, are you most surprised with the way that they've taken on to the NFL level? Of the 4, Mitchell, DeJean and Campbell and Mukuba.
Well, it's unfair because 2 of those guys have a season under their belt, so we have a lot more data.
No. But I was talking about what they did last year.
Yeah.
Versus,
Okay.
Cooper DeJean.
Really?
Yeah. And the reason being is, like, I was looking at Edgerrin Cooper at that spot in the second round for the Eagles to possibly get him as a linebacker. Turns out, glad I'm not the GM. But anyway, he really, seriously though, you're telling me everyone wants to talk about Saquon Barkley. Everyone wants to talk about Jalen Hurts not turning the football over anymore. The biggest change that the Eagles underwent was Cooper DeJean became their starting slot corner. Like that is not talked about enough. You went and essentially acquired a rookie, essentially, and he changed the whole look of your defense. Like Quinyon Mitchell was great from the start. We knew how competitive he was, from trash talking A.J. Brown to Mike Evans and all that. I really liked what I had to hear from Quinyon Mitchell during minicamp about how, what we're doing here is kind of what we did at Toledo, so I'm pretty good at understanding everything that's going on. I'm like, oh, okay, well, all right, way to go. And then he goes out there and you see it.
Anymore.
Yeah, right. Right. And then you see Cooper DeJean take over, and that was a problem. Avonte Maddox was not at all playing at a high level. This defense was missing tackles. And then the next thing you know, you got, Cooper DeJean burying Derrick Henry with a suplex. Like, that was the most pleasant surprise. I didn't think he was going to be garbage by any means, but I didn't expect someone to all of a sudden crack into that, what did I say, top 60 of the top 100 NFL players out there. Look, Jihaad Campbell, it has to be written still. Drew Mukuba has to stay healthy. Now you're talking about shoulder and hamstring injury. He's got to prove it as well. Jihaad Campbell might be that type of impactful player. When you're talking about the opportunity to get in the backfield and get the sexy numbers, get the sexy sacks and all that stuff. And then when it also comes to just holding down the fort in a similar way that Nakobe Dean did at the start of last year before he was injured, obviously, and also doing that next to Zach Bond, the Eagles could have that very similar punch. Like Zach Bond obviously wasn't a rookie last year, but to see him break onto the scene the way he did to become a defensive player of the year candidate, to see him next to Jihaad Campbell, you could be looking at two big impactful stars that weren't here 2 years ago that had the impact last year in Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. And then you could be looking at the same type of thing when you look at Zach Bond and Jihaad Campbell having that kind of impact again for two stars that both weren't here 2 years ago. So that I find really interesting. Mukuba does, to your point, both of you guys, what you mentioned there, Mukuba has to show me he can stay healthy. If he can't survive a training camp, then what's a 17-game schedule going to do to you? Yeah. What's a Thursday night game, a Monday night game, a Thursday night game? What's that short schedule going to look like, a Sunday to a Thursday, that type of thing? What's that? How are you going to survive that if you can't get through camp?
Yeah,
that's a good point. That's a good
They have
point.
their hands full.
With me, it would be
who would it be for you?
It'd be Mitchell, because I had no idea. First of all, I never saw him play in college. I had no idea we were getting a shutdown corner from the MAC.
Revis Island.
But now looking back in hindsight, it's not as much of a surprise to me knowing the relationship between Nick Sirianni and the coaching staff at Toledo. He had, the skinny on that kid. From the coaching staff. So he had a leg up, to evaluating this guy, not only what he did on tape and in games, but just what kind of a player what kind of a person he was, how he was in the locker room, all that kind of stuff. The Eagles had a jump on that because of Nick Sirianni's relationship with his former teammates. So now it doesn't seem as much of a surprise. But if you told me a week after the draft that the Eagles just picked up a shutdown corner, that kid from Toledo, I'd have said, really?
Yeah. The thing is, in their evaluations, when in pro sports, when they're drafting guys, they have to talk to the coaches that coach the guys. And I'm not interested in just watching highlights of players. Like, everybody has a highlight reel on YouTube, and then we have all these scouts that, I would have taken this guy, but they don't talk to the coaches like Nick Sirianni did with that relationship, Harry, to get very important intel. How coachable is he? How does he treat the trainers? How does he correlate with his teammates? Those things are often the difference makers. These are all the top 1% of the 1% athletes, but we don't know. The thing that makes a lot of the difference is the way they motivate themselves, the way they carry themselves, how coachable they are, all those things. Now, with Cooper DeJean, we come to find out during the season last year just what an insane athlete he is. We saw him dunking basketballs. Like, the dude's a freak, right?
Yeah. Right.
And you saw that athleticism in all aspects. He's probably one of those guys that no matter what you do, whatever you play against him, he just beats the brakes off you. You play ping pong, he kills you. croquet. He crushes you there too. And every other thing. He'll pick up a tennis racket, never having played, destroy, a lot of people. Just a great athlete with a good mind.
But can he beat Joe DeCamera? That's the question.
610.
Well, I'll say this also as far as the DeJean versus Mitchell. Mitchell had some hype on him. And that hype was this guy was supposed to be like anywhere between a 10 and 15th overall pick. And he fell to the Eagles because of that big run on offensive players, remember, in his draft. So I remember watching that and being like, oh, this guy's supposed to be like a 10 to 15 type of guy. And he's at 22 for the Eagles. Like they're getting a steal here. It's not unlike what you could see from Jihaad Campbell. Now he fell not because of the way the draft fell, but because of the injury mostly. So I thought Quinyon Mitchell was supposed to be a steal, that type of thing. And I was going into this, especially after hearing him and learning a little bit more about his background. And I think you're also right, Harry. You had an inside track. You had an inside line from Nick Sirianni to the coaching staff over there at Toledo where you kind of knew what you were getting. And you were going to have a good situation here anyway because you already had Darius Slay. But Quinyon coming in here and really, I mean, the phrase announce your presence with authority really applies to Quinyon Mitchell. So I was expecting him to be a legit number 2, number 1, maybe threatening type of corner. But in terms of a guy that could play at the level that he's at, where he's already one of the best in the game, didn't expect that. But Cooper DeJean to come in, and also you had the bar set low by the defense already. To see him come in and be that impactful made him look that much better. It's not unlike when Vic Fangio tells you about the training staff. Well, they always tell you it'll be a month, and then it ends up being 20 minutes just so they make themselves look better, But, yeah, both have been obviously all 4. Carter, Mukuba. I look forward to seeing what everyone brings to the table here. But in terms of the guy that was the most impactful that I didn't see coming, the pleasant surprise would be Cooper DeJean.
Farzetta went full-blown Marv Albert there. With authority.
With authority. I was thinking more Nuke Lelouch. Is that his name from Bull Durham?
Bull Durham.
Announce my presence with authority. I want to throw a fastball and announce my presence with authority.
Let's go to the czar of the telestrator.
When we come back
with those guys one night.
Yeah.
Wait, Marv Albert?
Marv Albert and the czar. Yeah.
Wow.
Mike really?
Oh, yeah.
Was the czar of the telestrator.
This was back in the early 90s in New York.
Wow.
That was a night.
Did that lead to a blackout, Harry?
No.
We'll get the details in the book.
And Ralph Lawler, too. He was the play-by-play guy for the Clippers at the time.
For the Clip?
Wow.
Yeah. Good dude.
Wow.
Yeah. What an unearthed gem that was all of a sudden. Out of New York.
Marv was in a fur coat.
What?
Yeah.
What was he? You thought he was Eskin?
He had a face. Yeah.
Was he wearing a mink?
It was, I don't know what it was. It was expensive.
Was he doing play-by-play of all the drinks?
Yeah.
Was he doing play-by-play? Don't know if you get over this hangover.
Yeah. And,
how was your dinner, Mr. Albert?
Yes. Well done. All right. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the offensive side of things, including 2 potential worries. And according to Harry Mays himself, somebody is flunking out of Stoutland U. How dare you, sir? We'll be back in a second. This is Locked On Eagles Squad Show on the Locked On Eagles YouTube channel. Back after this. There we go. Hey, let me tell you guys about the incredible, the amazing, the wonderful people at FanDuel. FanDuel is where it's at. And you know where it's at specifically? I'll tell you exactly where it's at. August 26th. FanDuel has you covered. Officially, FanDuel Futures Day. As a matter of fact, brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on the NFL season predictions that you love so much. So whether you're calling for your MVP, whether you're eyeing a long shot division winner, or you're ready to crown a Super Bowl champion before week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment with FanDuel on FanDuel Futures Day. Take a flyer on the MVP. Maybe you like Saquon Barkley. Maybe you like that Jalen Hurts character. Maybe you like Jalen Carter, huh? You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. FanDuel. Crown your champion in August. You like the Eagles winning it all? Right there. FanDuel has you covered. You can parlay your division winner dark horses as well. Visit FanDuel app. That's right. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now on FanDuel, because Futures Day is August 26th, and it's one day and one day only with FanDuel. And at FanDuel, you know what you do? You play your game. Let's get into it right here, gentlemen. Harry, let me just ask you right out of the gate. Your offensive lineman, who apparently is flunking the courses, what is going on at Stoutland University?
Well, based on what I was reading, obviously I can't get to camp because they won't allow me in. But what I've been reading from Reuben Frank is that Quinyon Green is not looking like a particular graduate of Stoutland University anytime soon. Okay, he's having a bad camp, has not looked good in the games, and this guy was a first-round pick. I think he was 15th overall to the Houston Texans a few years ago out of Texas A&M. Played college football, obviously at a very high level. Was thought of by many scouts, along the line of being a stud. And every now and then you get these guys that are busts. I'm not saying he's a bust, but you would have thought that by now, being with Mr. Stoutland in the curriculum, in the program, as they say, he'd be making some strides, and it doesn't appear like that's happening.
That's the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson trade.
Yes.
Oh, did Howie lose a trade? Did Howie lose a trade? Now Stoutland's flunking people. Howie's terrible. What's going on?
GJ will get like 6 or 7 picks this year too. You watch.
Yeah, he will. He will.
Howie lost the trade.
He finds the ball too. That guy.
Yes,
Howie loses a trade on purpose just to make the NFL make him seem like he's not
right.
Perfect. That way he can fleece the next guy. This is just, I'll lose this trade to set up the next absolute steal.
Right. Yeah, it's like bogey in the final 3 holes after you won your match, just to keep your handicap where it is. You know what I mean?
Okay, the over-under, 26 minutes. I hit the under. It was 31. Harry in his golf. Sheesh.
You did call it before we hit go on the show.
I did.
Yeah,
well,
you did call it.
You spoke it into existence.
Look at that.
I often do, Harry.
And I will not spepe any hockey references into existence because I don't want to hear it.
Well, you're up on your skates. You got your first shift, Harry. You just earned your second.
Exactly.
In all honesty, I got to say, I was a little nervous. Look, I would still love Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to be here, but that's besides the point. When the Eagles traded for a lineman that could compete for a guard spot, let's say in Quinyon Green here, he is not a piece of mold or clay or a piece of clay that Jeff Stoutland could mold into what he wants. Like, he is coming in not necessarily Stoutland housebroken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's had other influences. He's obviously was a first round pick. He's not a blank canvas. There you go.
Becton had other influences too coming in.
He absolutely did, which made me concerned about Mekhi Becton, and also the fact that he hadn't been a guard.
Right.
So I was like, all right, work your magic. Also, I think a lot of this has to do with overall mindset, whether or not you're setting any expectations for yourself. Like, I'm not this, I'm that. Don't ask me to be this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's the attitude of Quinyon Green or if it's simply just not working for whatever reason. Maybe he's a wonderful student, but the other thing you have to bring into account here, bring into consideration is he also was dealing with injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So did he get a late jump on everything, and did he really need that start to make sure that he was on the same page as everybody else? Because if you're late, if you come in late in the semester at Stoutland U, maybe not even the professor himself, the dean himself, can catch you up in time. So if I was going to say, if there was one guy that I did have a little bit concerned about, plus, how about this? We weren't talking about him ever.
Right.
Nobody has talked about him. They've talked about obviously Tyler Steen. They've talked about Steen. They've talked about Quinyon, Drew Kendall. They talked about
kid
Drew
from
Kendall.
Boston College. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, that Quinyon Green guy.
Right.
Like,
sort of forgot about him.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. So it's the old adage as well, and we know this in every sport. And no matter what level you played at, if your coach stopped talking to you, that was a bad sign for you. If he stopped coaching you up, that was a bad sign. And here we are, forgetting to talk about Quinyon Green.
Yeah, if the coach stops investing in his time in you, I think you nailed it though, Mark, because players when they come in a lot of times are a lump of clay. that the coach needs to mold into something. And some guys can, like, who was you just mentioned was moved to guard?
Becton.
Because he hadn't played guard, so maybe he becomes that lump of clay again because he's learning a new position. And Stoutland can teach him the intricacies and techniques of that position. And obviously the player has to be amenable to it. The player has to be willing to open his mind and say, yeah, this is what I was somewhere else. This is what they told me to do. This is how I did it. But I got to look at this guy's resume and go, I got to, erase those things and rebuild my foundation. And the other point you make is, was he injured this offseason to a point where he was rehabbing and not training? There's a huge difference in preparing for a professional sports season from rehabbing an injury to training to get ready for a season. We see it. It's why they say it takes an extra year for running backs when they deal with a knee. The trust of it, too. And it's also because that offseason, they rehabbed it. They didn't prepare the body the same way they would if they went in. Not in. Everybody comes out banged up, but where they can prepare for a season without having to really focus on a certain injury to rehab, as opposed to train the body and mind and everything for what's to come.
Well, they did a really good job of defragging his hard drive, meaning Becton, when he came here from the Jets, because it's like you come from the Jets, it's like, man, we don't coach that way. We do it a different way here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like when players come from certain teams, you have to get rid of the bad habits. Yeah. And a lot of times it's like I always say it's like a mechanic's hands. You don't just come home after working on cars all day and stick your hands in a little bit of dish soap and clean them. You got to get the lava soap out and scrub that stink off.
I thought there's this other thing they use.
Well, lava was back in the day. It was really
I remember
gritty.
the lava soap. Yeah, it had the sand in it. It was like gritty.
Yeah. But it would get the grease out and all the little nooks and crannies.
Yeah, but it never got it underneath the fingernails, though. You
got to get one of those little brushes, Harry.
That was always the telltale sign of a mechanic. You got
of a man, frankly.
Dirty finger. Oh, man.
You use your hands or do you not use your hands?
You need the clippers with that little knife with the hook that pops out. That's what you need.
Farzetta probably gets manicures.
No. But thank you for thinking.
I did get one once.
Did you?
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You get a clear coat, Harry?
Yeah. No. Yeah, actually, the polish was a clear.
They gave you a clear coat.
There's three things I've tried one time and I'll never go back to them. None of them is a manicure.
Yeah.
Yoga, did it once. Not for me. Not surprising. Yeah. A massage. I'll never get a massage again. That was weird. And,
really? Yeah. I've never had one. I've never had one.
Yeah. I hate it. Yeah. I hate it. No, thank you.
I'll have to send you guys to my girl Rose.
No. I don't need it.
First of all, rocket. Yeah. Second of all, strong hands.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be a happy ending. So what do I care about the rocket?
Well, you don't need that.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, frankly,
seriously.
I had one last week, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah?
I got, as part of my treatment, I had 6 free oncology massages.
Is that right?
God.
Yeah. And I went last week and had one because I still have the neuropathy in my feet, which is so the circulation helps. Great massage. I get them all the time.
Oh, good.
Fantastic. That massage.
Good.
I had a pedicure done one time when me and my wife went away on like a spa weekend thing. And this chick, I busted out the hockey dogs, the feet after they've been in skates your entire life.
God.
The girl looked at it and was like, oh my God. She broke out a belt sander.
She probably puked.
She's like, where have these things been? I'm like, in a hockey skate.
You don't want to know.
In a Bauer.
A Bauer boot.
Yeah.
It's a boot.
Back in the day, it was a Micron.
Farzetta has totally lost control of this show. See, this is what happens on the eve of the Jets preseason game.
Harry, I'm
trying to reverse engineer this. How did we get here? I'm not even reverse engineer.
I've wiped that game from my memory. I'm not even planning on giving it one thought, even though we're doing post.
We're doing a postcast tomorrow night.
We're not talking about that game. We're talking about previewing the season at that point.
Oh, okay.
I just decided. Programming alert.
Okay.
This just in.
Jeremy Van Sciver says that the pumice stone always works.
Oh, I'm not a fan of it. Pumice stone wasn't strong enough for my dogs.
No?
No, they had to break out the belt sander, Harry.
Hold on. You mentioned. I got to show you. You'll love this. You mentioned your Bowers. Hold on a second.
Yeah, Bowers boots. Yeah, I had a stylist when I lived in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina. She told me she suggested a manicure. I would have done anything she told me to do.
Yeah, and you've never had a massage. Oh,
no, she didn't suggest that. Oh, look at this.
That's a mitt.
That's right, son.
Can you drop the mitts though?
Don't make me. Don't make me.
Let me see the palm of the mitt. I'll see how much it's been used by looking at the palm.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah. We got to get that thing on the ice a little more. Yeah.
Wow. Good times.
I can bring the whole goalie. That's what we'll do tomorrow post game. I'll bring in the goalie bag.
Great.
And we'll go through the gear. We'll look at the chesty hair.
Right.
I can smell it coming through the camera.
Yeah, if only the listeners could smell it. That's what I was just thinking.
We'll do a segment on all the goalie masks in the house.
Look at that. The Habs, baby.
Patty Wah. Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, Nina says good morning. Hello. Well, good afternoon now,
Marty.
Oh, get that out of there. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that guy hurt.
Got a Mike Richter, too. Pride of Flower Town there.
Oh, he likes to claim Ambler.
Yeah, I actually ran into Mike Richter, speaking of football. I was down at NovaCare one day to meet with Derek Boyko, and we were waiting for Derek to come out and get me. And in walks Mike Richter.
Really?
I'm like, Mike? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, and I introduced myself, and he doesn't know me from Adam. And I'm like, what are you doing here? And he works for an energy, clean energy company. He was meeting with Jeff Lurie about clean energy initiatives. I was like,
really?
Like, what a random run-in that is.
Wow.
And I got to tell you, 5'8", like an inch taller than me.
Yeah, small, not a big
Never
guy.
play in today's game.
A gentleman of the game. A gentleman of the game.
Like,
nice how did you introduce yourself? What did you say? I'm Jason Martinez, and then what do you say? Part of the Flyers broadcast team, or what do you do?
No, I go goalie union first, Harry.
Goalie
union. I break out the goalie union card to lend credibility to the position. And then I think the third thing I got to was I competed with you although at a different level because he was a little older than me, at the Pepsi shootout at the Spectrum in 1982, where he was in the Bantam division of the Pepsi shootout and I was in the Pee Wee division, and we both won it.
Now,
Pee Wee, and it was broadcast.
What's that age bracket, Pee Wee?
I think Pee Wee is 10 to 12.
10 to 12. And that was 82?
Oh, 82. So, no, 12 to 14.
Okay, yeah, because I was a junior in high school in 82.
Yeah. So, and they would take the Pepsi shootout, and they would broadcast it in between periods of the Flyers game. Gene Hart and Bobby Taylor.
I kind of remember that.
I showed you the video.
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Mike was in that as well.
Did not. Well, let me.
Fond memories.
Wow. Harry, Jason got golf in, and then we went right down the hockey avenue.
Right down
amazing.
the rabbit hole.
It was really amazing.
There you go.
Very nice. All right. We got one more read here. When we come back, two things we got to get into. One has to do with the current wide receivers on this team, as well as the new addition to the wide receivers room. Talk about that and more when we return. This is Locked On Eagles Squad Show on the Locked On Eagles YouTube channel. Back after this.
All righty, we get ready, you guys, and let me tell you about Monarch Money. Monarch Money. Everybody loves their money. I know I do. Most people can't name all their financial accounts. I couldn't, or even what they're worth, let alone how many you have. Whether it's 401k, properties, investments, they go up, they go down. You hope they keep going up. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there's Monarch Money now. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life into one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Now, Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. That's the good news. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear date visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. I'm not a math guy, not an accountant, not a spreadsheet guy. So Monarch Money does all this for you. I linked all my accounts to Monarch and immediately found multiple subscriptions to different things. I was stunned. I couldn't even use it. Not even using one of them. Canceling those alone saved me money every month. Easy to do. Great for budgeting. Monarch makes it simple to review your finances with your wife, your girlfriend, or just yourself. You can also see your budgets, what you're spending where, goals, and spending activity, and it's all in one place. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONNFL at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONNFL.
All right, we're looking at the wide receiver room. The Eagles just made an acquisition, and now whenever I see Alabama, Auburn, any of the big schools, obviously here, I think of you, my friend. John Mechie comes here to join the Eagles wide receiver room.
Yeah.
Why?
Head scratcher.
What? Okay. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. All right. Clear cut. Jahan Dotson, Johnny Wilson, Anaya Smith.
Yeah. Calm down.
Calm down. Do you want Cooper DeJean returning punts, Harry?
No, I
do.
No,
You
I
want
don't.
Cooper DeJean returning punts?
I don't. But let's okay. Let Anaya Smith return the punts. But as far as a wide receiver that's really going to make an impact on this team, I'm not seeing that. Mechie was a stud. He was my favorite player on that Alabama team, his final year at Alabama. And there were many other receivers on that team that got a lot more pub than him. Then he went to the Texans and hurt himself. He tore his ACL. And then the next year, he missed the entire season because he had leukemia. So this guy's been through the ringer. You know, if he's healthy and he can give you something, he'd be good in the slot. He's just another tough. He's a tough kid, and I think it's great because you gave up. Who'd you have to give up for that? There was some guy that wasn't going to play anyway, probably, right?
Yeah.
Was it a backup tight end? I think it was like the third or fourth tight end.
And they flipped like 6th and 5th picks.
Yeah,
okay. 5th round picks.
Yeah. But I mean, look, Howie Roseman saw what happened to this team when A.J. Brown was not on the field in September and early October. I forget when he came back. Then he saw what happens when Devontae Smith gets hurt. They're both banged up now, and that is I know we're going to talk about that. That does concern me because of the types of injuries that they are having. They appear to be these nagging type of things that can just flare up any time, and it's tough to go through a football season with a hamstring and ever be right. So that worries me about A.J. Brown. As far as Devontae Smith, he's had 2 injuries. He's had a back issue, and now what's the other issue right now? He's got a groin issue right now.
Groin. That's
so
what it was.
It appears to be like he's got multiple things going on and has yet to play. So that concerns me. You put Mechie in there. I think he's better than their third receiver right now. I think he's better.
The Jahan Dotson or Johnny Wilson?
He's way better than both.
Okay.
He's better than both.
So insurance policy.
All right. Well, that's true. And I do look. I'm all about depth, love depth. All that's great. But does he then leapfrog to your number 3 guy?
Hopefully,
he has to earn it. But I mean,
I like Wilson because of the size. I think he's an asset that they can utilize. But if you got a guy that can push Dotson down to the number 4, I'm all for it.
Okay. Yeah.
And look, here's
Cooper
the deal.
DeJean still not returning punts? That's all I'm hearing about.
No, I don't want that. No.
All right, good.
I'm with you on that.
Okay.
And
all right.
Harry, you mentioned those injuries, a back and a hamstring. They are 2 things that linger. They just do. And it's constant maintenance and treatment all season long. And like a hamstring is one of those, it's almost scary that you're dealing with a hammy because you could just really at any point just have it just.
What was the game where they were both off the field? Was it the Tampa game that they lost in week 4?
Yeah.
I think they were both out for that game. They had absolutely nothing to move the football outside of everybody keying on Saquon Barkley. But now if you get a game like that and you got Dotson and Mechie in there as your 1 and 2, you could do worse.
Yeah. And this is how we just look in today's NFL, 17 games. You're going to lose guys for a couple. It's the reality of the sport. So how are you positioned to handle it when they do?
Yeah.
It's like going back to the Tanner McKee thing. Is Hurts going to play all 17 games? Lord, I hope so. But, guys like Brett Favre that played game in, game out, year after year, it's not as prevalent in the NFL anymore. It's more physical. It is faster, and more things can cause a player to miss games. So you better be prepared, because even though there's more games, one more game, it doesn't mitigate the importance of that one game. You better still be in a position to be able to win that week, or you may not have home field. You may not make the playoffs. You may have to play in wild card weekend. And we know that those things can make a huge difference on the ultimate goal of getting, to another championship, a Super Bowl, and try and win it. Mm-hmm. The margins are so slim in the NFL.
Absolutely. For A.J. Brown, it's a hamstring now. For Devontae Smith, it is the groin, Harry, as you were saying. So I'm with you guys. Yeah. Like, I just want to be able to brush this away and be like, it's training camp. If they were playing, if it was the regular season, they'd be playing through it, whatever. Well, I don't want all of a sudden you try to go in week 1 and you blow the tire, as they say, and then all of a sudden you try to come back in week 4. It's like, oh, nope, not happening. And then you're dealing with this all season long, to the point where all of a sudden John Dotson and John Mechie are now your starting wide receivers as opposed to a good third option. So, what a depth. I absolutely understand that. I also think when A.J. Brown is talking about now solidifying his legacy and winning again, just keep going, keep being hungry. These are also guys that I don't think are going to be babying injuries, unfortunately. I think they're going to be trying to fight through, because it's not unlike listening to Cam Jurgens or Landon Dickerson when training camp started about how both were fighting through these awful injuries, back injuries and whatnot, through the playoffs and especially through the NFC Championship game, and how it helped them to say, okay, well, I know that I had this injury, but Cam is fighting through it. Or if you're Cam Jurgens, I have this injury, but Landon's fighting through it. Like, that helps kind of raise everybody's game. That helps motivate everybody to try to play through it. But when you try to play through injuries like this, it just makes it worse.
Well, here you go, guys. We have breaking news as well.
What do you got?
Zach Berman just tweeted out the following, that Johnny Wilson is undergoing surgery and is out for the season.
Oh, boy.
Jeff McClain first reported it.
I knew he was hurt, but I didn't know he was that bad. Wow, that's big.
Surgery, out for the season.
Okay, well, that makes perfect sense now.
Yeah, how's that happen when we're talking about exactly that?
Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle were on that Alabama team, and Mechie was like the third guy, yet he was my favorite receiver. Remember Waddle? Is he with Miami Dolphins right still?
Of course, yeah. Absolutely. Wow, that is a hell of a receiving core there.
Yeah.
That Bryce Young guy had some targets. That's for sure.
And they had Brian Robinson at running back.
Former Penn Stater?
No.
Oh, no. Who was the guy the Penn State guy that was the quarterback that turned into a running back?
It was Robinson. I forget his first name, though. Yeah.
David Robinson?
No, I don't think so.
That's the Admiral, Harry.
That's the Admiral. That's true.
Oh, God.
Well, that just answered our question.
Yeah, and there you go.
So now they need more depth at the wide receiver position.
Right. They don't have enough
guys. Quickly as
now they got to go get a tall guy.
Howie's going to trade for Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Mechie's going to go on Dotson's shoulders. That's going to be one receiver.
There you
Innovative.
Innovative. Like it.
How are we feeling right now, though, speaking of injuries, how are we feeling right now about Landon Dickerson? Is our confidence level high that he's going to be ready week 1?
I don't know. Guy's coming off surgery.
If not, you got Drew Kendall, you got Brett Toth.
Yeah. I mean, you'll be able to get by for a week or two with that, I would assume.
Yeah. I'm right there.
Well, whoever it is will be a target of the Cowboys in week 1 on that Thursday night on September 4th. You know that.
Yes.
If Parsons is playing.
Yeah. Part of the equation.
I can't help but think, and this is coming from obviously someone in the Eagles side of things here, but I just can't help but think that that team is just going to implode this year.
Dallas.
Too much noise. Way too early.
Internal animosity, fellas.
Yeah.
Like, they are, for everything you talk about with the Eagles culture, the Dallas Cowboys are the exact opposite of that. And even in Washington, not that I think it's going to blow up to the degree that the Micah Parsons stuff is going to, because Jerry Jones is now grasping at straws. And like at the start of camp, you're ripping Dak Prescott for being hurt. You're ripping Micah Parsons for being hurt. Micah Parsons tries to be the good soldier and show up to work at least, and still no good vibes are created even after that by the organization. Right. And in Washington, Dan Quinn is talking about how he's not going to play Where's Waldo every day with Terry McLaurin. Like, you got to get him locked up, man. Do you think Deebo Samuel is really going to be that stud guy that Jaden Daniels needs? No, he's on the same page very much right now with Scary Terry. So I look around and I just go, wow, this is bad for other teams. Yeah. And this is really bad for the Dallas Cowboys.
And Jera is more concerned right now in promoting the Netflix special on the 90s Cowboys.
Yeah. Well, that's what Cowboy fans do.
I have not seen it.
Have you watched any of it?
I've heard it's good, but I have not seen it.
I'm sure it's great.
Yeah.
Like, if you just
I want to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it too, because that
is it on VHS, Harry?
No, it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix. I'll watch it next week, in the week where there's no football really, except college. I'll watch.
Were they able to clean up that old film of their successful days? Does it look all grainy with John Facenda?
I haven't seen
when the Cowboys were relevant.
at the White House.
Yeah, the White House.
That's what I look forward to seeing what their White House was like.
Yeah.
We all heard stories about that White House.
Oh yeah.
All right, when we come back, I want to get into the linebackers a little bit, and then also I want to ask you guys. Well, I have a movie review. I have a movie review for you, gentlemen. Speaking of things we've watched recently, I have a movie review that has to do with an all-time beloved Philadelphia Eagle. We'll talk about that when we return after this quick stoppage. This is Locked On Eagle Squad podcast. And we're back. All right, movie review real quick. The last time I caught up with you guys was after preseason game number 2. I was at the Jason Kelsey movie premiere of Brumate, okay? Aside from showing you guys the amazing gabagool that was on hand, I did see the movie. It's 30 minutes. It's essentially a 30-minute commercial for his beer. And it's all based on the, I want to say, late 80s hit Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Bloodsport.
Oh, okay.
Where they fight in the Kumite. This is Brumate. And I got to say, Jason Kelsey's amazing. He is hysterical. Bo Allen is in it. He's hysterical. Travis Kelsey's in it for a minute. He's hysterical. Ed Kelsey, the dad, of course, he's great in it. If you get a chance to watch this, I don't even know where you can watch it, but if you get a chance, maybe it's on YouTube. I don't even know. Brumate, the Jason Kelsey movie, well worth the 30 minutes. It's a good time, especially for.
Oh, it's only 30 minutes.
It's only 30 minutes.
Oh,
it's
wow.
like a long. It's an infomercial for his beer.
Oh, okay.
But
like
it's
produced up.
Yeah, well produced up.
I can't believe Travis Kelsey was only in it for a minute.
Yeah.
Yes, he
ended up on the editing room floor.
You don't want to spoil it, yeah. So there's no Taylor Swift sighting, is there?
That is correct. There is no Taylor Swift sighting.
How about a Kylie Kelsey sighting?
No, I was surprised by that. And Kylie's awesome. I love. Yeah. Oh my God, she's the best. She is awesome. But I got a chance to meet Ed and Donna for the first time. They're just like these are Ohio parents. They're just sweet as anything, cool as anything, just very nice people that are just like, hey, how about all this happening? You know, that kind of thing.
Right.
They're definitely Jason's parents. I'll put it to you like that.
I could see Jason being able to do one of those Jean-Claude Van Damme like kicks where his leg goes like straight up in the air. You know, like in Kickboxer or Bloodsport. Van Damme was like super flexible, right? Could Jason Kelsey pull that off?
Like every movie Jean-Claude Van Damme did, like he had it in the script where he would do the 2 chairs on either end.
Yeah.
And he's doing the split.
Yep.
You know how we get ready for our show, right? You know, when we do it, guys.
I see that in my groin. Speaking of groins, just blows out. You're like, oh my God. The insane strength that is like a gymnast.
Brumate. Check it out. All right. We've talked about this different universe we live in now as Eagles guys here, where the Eagles are paying a running back. And now the Eagles are not only paying a linebacker in Zach Bond, but the Eagles might have an embarrassment of riches at the inside linebacker position. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., from all reports out of camp, is like he'd be like people talk about Tanner McKee being a starter for like 15 other clubs in the NFL. You know, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. might be a starting linebacker on like 10 other clubs in the NFL, if not more than that. And now you got Zach Bond, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., you have Jihaad Campbell, Nakobe Dean coming back.
Smile Mondon's having a good camp.
Smile Mondon's having a great camp. Absolutely. Like all of a sudden, the Eagles have linebackers, gentlemen. Yeah. What world am I living in here?
I know. It's like an alternate universe.
It's been a long time. I mean, you go back, and it was always an issue at linebacker. You had some good ones. Semino here was for a cup of coffee. They have Von Kirkland for a little bit.
Semino. I'll never forget Semino.
Wow.
Yeah, Marc Semino.
He got blocked twice on a scoring play against the Carolina Panthers in that playoff game.
Yes. And
he made an extra point.
Championship game with Jake Delhomme.
That's right.
Yeah, that was the Pinkston where McNabb got hurt right away. But and then you had Trott, which was a good one. And then you go way back and you had Seth Joyner.
Should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he should. His outspokenness, I think, has kept him out of it. But you had those guys. But, yeah, having a strong linebacker crew is paramount because the running game has reemerged in the NFL to a large degree.
Yeah. Wasn't too long ago when they were saying, like, the running back was a position that was no longer valued.
mean, even fullbacks.
Remember that? Remember that narrative? I love I love the term narrative.
Well, they just wanted to chuck the ball around.
Yeah.
The old ball coach, Steve Spurrier.
What do you got to blame him for?
No, I love Spurrier. I was a huge fan, except for when he was in Washington. The old ball coach. I like those guys.
I loved him when he was in Washington. What are you talking about? I loved him.
They won 5 games a year when he was there.
Yeah, it was amazing. But it is wild that a lot of us had talked about the linebacker position and like at least needing somebody who was serviceable. And even a guy like TJ Edwards being here, they didn't want to pay.
Made a lot of tackles, that guy.
A hell of a lot of tackles. Even before him, Alex Singleton was like 5th in the NFL in tackles before he got his deal with the Denver Broncos, and more power to all these guys. But the point is the Eagles did not at all value the position. So then what happens? You get not the cover band of the Vic Fangio defense, but you get the real original act, Vic Fangio himself, to run the defense. And he's like, you guys are going to need linebackers. Next thing you know, he turns Zach Bond into an all-pro. Next thing you know, Nakobe Dean, healthy, out there on the football field making plays for you. And now you got this kind of stable of linebackers that it's been a long time since you could see multiple guys come in and have confidence in almost every single one of them. And look, Smile London, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame. I'm not making him an all Pro Bowler, but
he's making the team.
He's making making the team. So, and also in the emergence of the edge rusher as opposed to the outside linebacker spot, these guys have options. Even when Nakobe Dean comes back, if they want Dean in there next to Bond and put Jihaad Campbell in the edge rusher, he can do it.
Yep.
They're set up for success there.
You really got to feel good for Jeremiah Trotter Jr. too, because that is not an easy thing. Okay, coming to the team where your father was, legendary at the position, is still maintains positions in the sports media. The fans love the Trotter, the whole Axeman thing, and you're coming in there with like, oh yeah, how good's the kid? Is he half as good as the old man? That kind of If he's half as good as the old man, I'll take it. And it's not an easy thing to come to, much less the NFL and play anywhere, but much less to come to the place where your dad is famous, and he's doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, it's really that's very difficot to do because you're just looked at as a legacy,
right?
And can you live up to the bar that your dad set? And Trot, was a guy who was really good here, and then jettisoned because of money, took the payday. And then came back and made good on it and has maintained residency here as part of the community. And we love Trot. He's a great dude. The accent, whole thing. Played at a small school. His son goes and plays at Clemson. And, he's coming in and the kid's got to pave his own way. He's dealt with it his whole life.
Yeah.
Having a famous dad in the same sport that you're trying to make your way in. You look at like Peyton Manning and Archie Manning. It's difficult to do. And Eli Manning, obviously. But because you're always going to be compared. But he's paving his own way, and he's not getting anything handed to him. He's earning it, which is good. A lot of times people will go, well, you get opportunities because of who your dad was.
No, he didn't get an opportunity at Clemson because of who his dad was. He had to earn that. He had to earn. Dabo Swinney wouldn't be giving him playing time just because of who his dad was.
Dabo Swinney doesn't care.
No.
And of course, Trotko went to, where did he go to school? He went to
Sam Houston, was it?
No,
Stephen F. Austin.
Stephen F. Austin. That's right. That's the one. Yeah.
Stone Cold Stephen F. Austin State.
The Lumberjacks. Were they the Lumberjacks?
Well, no, that seems too fitting with the accent.
Are there trees down there? I don't.
One of those teams down there is the Lumberjacks.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, now you've piqued my curiosity. Yeah. Stephen F.
Austin.
If that's the Lumberjacks, and he's
the Lumberjacks.
Bang! How about that?
Knowledge on you.
That's probably where he got the Axeman thing.
How about that?
And of course, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. was aptly named by the senior the Hatchet.
The Hatchet.
I'm the Axeman. He's the Hatchet.
You sure that wasn't Gargano that gave him that nickname?
Maybe. Well, he'll take credit for it. You know that.
Honestly, I thought it was Ike.
Oh, it might have been.
It
might have been.
That'd be an Ike.
I would give Ike credit for that.
Wait, we got. I don't know here. I don't know if this guy's outing here or not. Beach bars in Wrightsville Beach here.
Oh yeah, Jimmy's. I remember Jimmy's, and what was the Red Dogs I used to go to.
Where is Wrightsville Beach?
North Carolina, right near Wilmington, north of Wilmington.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not a beachman.
I lived there for a couple of years.
That a guy. Jerry Von Skyver, I think this is talking about Quinyon Green, Chance Warmack.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
It just shows Stoutland can't fix everybody.
Yeah. Chance Warmack went to Bama.
He did.
Yeah.
He did go to Bama. There we go.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody in the chat.
Chance
yeah,
Warmack,
he was huge. Huge.
Like 6'7",
Big dude.
330.
Fellas,
all men are created equal. In my ass.
I know this was a fun show, but you know what's going to be even more fun?
Week
Jets
one
post-game show.
Oh,
Dude,
I'm getting cranked up already. I'm already doing some notes, taking some notes on this Jets roster, man. I'm just so anxious to break down the quarterback room that the Jets have right now. I mean, does it get much better than Brady Cook, Adrian Martinez, Tyrod Taylor, and Justin Fields? I mean,
ready to go.
Let's go.
What
ready
a
to go.
joke. Let's get Jake Asman on the show to give us a breakdown, Harry.
I love Jake Asman.
He talks about this Jets team I don't know how he's still above ground.
I know.
Oh, wait. Here, I got some great news. Great news for you. When you watch your next Browns preseason game,
Shador Sanders will be playing in it, won't he?
Yeah. He'll be playing Saturday in the preseason finale, despite the oblique injury. How about that? Folks, a pleasure as always. We'll be back with you guys tomorrow for Locked On Eagles Squad. Locked On Eagles Squad post-game version of the final preseason game. That's Harry Mays. That's Jason Machitas. I'm Marc Farzetta. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to all this. Make sure you guys like and subscribe so you can watch our man Louis DiBiase with your daily Eagles content on Locked On Eagles YouTube channel as well. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. See you guys then.
All right,
cool.
It's not ending.
What's that?
It's not ending.
Oh,
Hi, everybody.
It's still live.